Hey, what's up, my friends? Sorry for being late. I overslept. I got a nap a little while ago. I just woke up. As the title says, it's chapter 3 of book 5. And we shall begin. 3 days have passed, and the fleet of some 100 ships assembled in orbit around the throne world Crania Prime, with battle cruisers, carriers, destroyers, and support vessels. Oh, and many starfighters and fighter bombers. Many of the boats were former. Change that. Sorry, I'm gonna change that. Vessels. Many of the vessels were former Imperial Starfleet. There are some 900 Chi Wings, U-Wing fighter bombers. Let's see, I just got it all. And some T-Wings escorting the fleet. This should get interesting. Julia says as the sabotage vessel starts pulling the fleet into the maw of the oddly shaped, miles-long vessel to a massive hole in the bow of the alien vessel that can swallow a hornet whole. I'm going to change that. Sorry, I'll just some changes. It could swallow the hornet in bold. Okay. They feel the soft vibration as they are pulled into the giant hold in the massive vessel. Most of the officers and men on the Hornet Bridge had never been through this, unlike Julius, Stephen, Rena, and Natuk. The vessels slow to a stop inside the massive cargo hold. It is pitch dark. Prepare for the fold to the lesser cloud to hear in their minds. Do not fear. No, this only takes moments to complete, Stephen says. This is instantaneous. The voice beams into their minds again. There will be no need for the I. I? One officer whispers into another officer's ear. The gateway jumps. He replies, hearing the man ask. Don't worry, Linda. Sabotage can hold space, can fold space and shorten travel time in 2 moments. 2 moments. Lesser cloud. Small Magellanic cloud. I am assuming, Eve says. Why not use this fold system to travel to Andromeda Galaxy, sir? The officer asks. Their fold system cannot reach that far out, Steven says. I hope they will share this technology with us when this war is over. It will shorten travel time big time. Right. A few errors I need to fix. I'll fix them later. Chief engineer smiles as he has not had to power up the ship's engines. They sit on standby, which puts a severe strain on his precious engines, but they were purring right now. But when they entered their new territory, the Andromeda Galaxy, he has his best engineers on standby in the engine room, keeping an eye on his baby. He's part Scottish and has spent most of his life in the engine room, including a seagoing vessel early in his naval life, the Centurion Prime. Moments later, the fleet and their escorts are pushed out into space near the gateway jump inside the SMC. You're ready, Eve. Activate the gate. Yes, sir. Welcome to Lesser Cloud. The sabotage leader said beams. Stephen smiles as the gateway jump positioned directly in front of them. As the gate comes to life, hold your positions till we are all ready to jump. Aye, sir. Chief Engineer Trey Monty says, permission to return to engineering. Granted, Chief. As the chief engineer rises to his feet and rushes off the bridge, and an engineering assistant takes his place, Monty only trusts officers and crew who are veterans in engine rooms, but a few cadets from the academy are working in the engineering room. Engine spaces, sorry. I fixed everything, but I'm finding things I could change. But only he lets his best engineers work on the bridge. They knew the workings of the bridge engineering station. Monty has his own engineering control room that overlooks the main engine space and a large oblong-shaped engine. On my command, all vessels will go to full impulse towards the gate. Stephen says over his radio. He gets green lights from the other fleet commanders. We are ready to follow you in, Admiral Spears. The sabotage leader beams. Roger that. On three. 1, 2, 3. The fleet starts passing into the field of shimmering light and stars that looks like the surface of an ocean, river, or lake. Small ripples of waves fill the void inside the ring, followed by the massive sabotage vessel. They all pass through the gate. Where are we? Stephen asks some 18 hours later as he walks back onto the Hornets Bridge. If I am looking at my readings right, sir. If I am looking at my readings right, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Galaxy M31, the Andromeda Galaxy, he says. Okay. What do you think so far? Like it. Stephen looks through the viewport in front of him and sees a sea of stars look alien to him. Space even looks multicolored compared to the Milky Way. And the star patterns are very different from those found in Milky Way. And he's in the Andromeda Galaxy, and he knows what it looks like inside. Show me the gate, please. He touches a couple of controls on the console in front of her and on the big overhead monitor. The massive Jupiter-sized gateway jump appears. The gate is still active as the rest of its fleet appears through the gate, followed by the sabotage vessel. When it is complete, the gate shuts down instantly. Stephen, well, I'm getting a breach of our computer systems. What is it, Rena? Not fear, Admirals. We are uploading star charts to your fleet, so you will not be lost here. Thank you, sir. Eve, where are we at on the star chart? Okay. Eve touches controls and the map of the Andromeda Galaxy comes up on the overhead screen, and in seconds, the flashing spot appears on the star chart near a cluster of stars along an arm near the outer edge of the massive galaxy. Near the edge of Thyesteria arm is our home system, the sabotage leader beams. Thank you, sir, for sending a star charts where we are. You are very welcome, Admiral. Sir, we got incoming. His weapons officer calls out, and they do not look friendly, sir. Nina, Hannah, go. I'll join you shortly. Both officers call out. Yes, sir. Both officers call out as they rise to their feet and run off the bridge. Those are Chaiku Admiral Spears, the sabotage leader beams. Be careful, they are very tricky. Shields up, guns online. Steven calls out. In seconds, the ship's shields are online, and the guns elevate their barrels as a swarm of X-shaped. I showed you a picture of that. At least as best I could. Egg-shaped pods zooms towards the fleet. The wings of the pods slip back, way back. Black-colored blaster bolts shoot from the ends of the wings, but they're deflected off by the fleet's shield. The tricopods even look bigger than the old Y wing. You can see energy beams right up the leading edge of the wings before shooting out at the fleet they're attacking. There's another fleet of ships coming in. Do not fear, these are sabotage pods, leader beams. They're friendly. I repeat, friendly. You hear that? I hear that, most Spears, the officer says, nodding as a swarm of egg-shaped pods zoom past them from behind and engage the Chaiku pods. Steven sees no ports that should have used inside the alien fighter. All right. Okay. Alien fighter pods. Sorry. Being appear faster and more agile than the tricopods. The eggs even have tendrils flowing from the rear of the pods, like wings and stuff like that. I don't know what you call it, fins. You can see tiny bumps in the lower section of the nose. There go our boys, Steven says as the fleet of tri-wings and T-wings dive into the swarm of tricopods. He rises to his feet, runs off the bridge down to his waiting tri-wing. He'd been wearing his flight suit since they started the journey. His old Tiger IV flight helmet was waiting in the cockpit. He looks over his controls and sees the engines on. Okay, I'm gonna add something. Sorry, hang on one second. Okay, I have one. He jumps in the cockpit once he reaches the hangar deck. He looks over his controls and sees the engines on standby for his arrival. He lowers the canopy over his head as the green lights flare up on the panel in front of them. He is then towed out onto an external elevator, which lifts his tri-wing up onto the flight deck. Then towed into position onto one of the magnetic catapults. As he moves into position, a man in a pressure suit and life support gives him a thumbs up. As the tri-wing is positioned in the launch rail, he returns the thumbs up. Launch officer spins and drops to one knee and points to the bow, and Steven's fighter is pushed forward and off the bow of the Hornet. I never was good details like that. That's just hard to explain. A quartet of tri-wings join them, followed then by 12 sabotage pods as they join the fight. Steven, we got these crazy looking pods on the ropes, Rena calls over his radio. I see that, but do not drop your guard. That could be a ruse. Sorry. Oh, come on. Really? Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. I lost where I was. Oh, okay. This could be a ruse, Steven says as he fires a couple of missiles and takes out a couple of Triku pods, then opens fire with his guns and takes out another 6 X-shaped pods as the sabotage pods cover them for their own protection. Since no person in his fleet has encountered these races before, the Triku have no defenses against the weapons of the Tri-Wings or the T-Wings, or for that matter, the sabotage pods. In moments with few enemy pods are left, flee for friendlier space with the loss of no Galactic Free State fighters or pods. None of the Triku pods had shielding or heavy weapons that could punch through the shielding of his own craft. I gotta fix some stuff I saw. We got them running, but next time they will know what they're facing, Steven says over his radio. Roger that, Steven, Rena says. Any casualties? Steven asks, constantly worried about his pilots. Hannah suffered a bad leg wound. I'm fine, Hannah calls out of her own defense to look at pain on her face on the screen in front of him. Rena's face is on the screen too. I want you back on the Hornet in medical now, Hannah. That's an order. Aye, sir. As Steven leads her back to the Hornet, they land safely, but as they land, Hannah's T-Wing disappears without a trace. What the hell? Do not worry, Admiral Spears. Your pilot is in our safe hands. She will be returned upon her treatment's completion. I trust you to return her unharmed. She shall be returned better than when she was wounded. Thank you, sir. Okay. Admiral, my task force and I shall remain behind to defend the only way back home, Captain Aaron Solomon says, cutting into the signal now. She commands 12 ships, including a small escort carrier. Good luck, Captain. Godspeed. You too, Admiral. Solomon says as her screen goes black. She commands from the bridge of the escort carrier, Virginia. She was a former Imperial Starfleet captain, but had changed her loyalties to the Alliance. Having shown respect for the young Admiral, he returns to the bridge of the Hornet, where some damage had been suffered. Minimal as it was, nobody was killed or wounded, just some smoke was drifting up from cracked monitors and damaged control panels. Damage reports, please, he says, retaking his seat. Minor damage to the main gun emplacements, but we are still fully operational, sir. Minor injuries to the bridge crew. The rest of the ship's crew, fleet? Not as far as we know, sir. How's Admiral Baxter? She's been taken by our allies for treatment. How? They took her away as they did me, using their power of teleportation. I hope she returns okay, asked Stephen. Oh, Stephen has Rena remain on patrol with the Tri-Wings and T-Wing fighters and their allies. A moment after sitting down, Hannah stands up next to. Okay, sorry. Hannah appears standing up, standing next to Stephen, smiling, still wearing her flight suit and helmet. Hannah, you okay? I'm fine, Stephen, Hannah says, nodding. This sabotage were able to heal my wound faster than we can even hope to. She rubs her now healed left leg as she retakes her seat next to Stephen on his right. I'll only ground you till we engage the enemy, understood? Yes, sir, I understand. Thank you, Stephen. I cannot afford to lose any good pilots, Hannah. And you're one of the best pilots I know. And if you died here, your dad would hunt me down and kill me. And he's a mean dad. I believe you, Stephen. Your dad scared me, Hannah. I do believe he would. We are about to take your fleets into our ship and take you to our home system. Here we go again. Relax, people. We've all done this at least once at least before. Old system at work. Now feel the Hornet being pulled in reverse into the hold of the giant vessel along with the other ships in its fleet. It feels strange going in reverse into a ship that could swallow 10 Hornets easily and not even need to take a bite. Swallow them all at the same time, along with the support vessels around them. Okay, people, brace yourselves just as they feel the surge of the power of the mother vessel folding space. Interesting. Welcome to System K1 POW, or PAW, sorry. They hear in their minds. What are we looking at, Eve? It's a system of 10 worlds, Admiral. The innermost 4 worlds, Earth. I'm sorry, I'm going to change that. Rocky worlds. The next 4. Yeah, okay, sorry. The next world is a desert type world. The next 4 are next 4 worlds are gas giants. The outermost is an icy world similar to planet Pluto. Sir. Almost like our solar system, Hannah says, surprised as they look at the star chart and map of the system on the overhead monitor. Two of the other rocky Earth-like worlds share the same orbit, but on opposite sides of the star, which is a larger yellow star like the sun of the solar system back home, only larger in diameter. But there's a yellow star, too. The innermost world is rocky and airless. The Sabotage ship takes the lead. It starts pulling a Hornet and the other ships in its fleet behind them as they enter the system. They bring the ships past each world. The outermost looks almost like Pluto, just bigger in diameter. Sorry, right now. It even has the same moons as Pluto. I see a space dock orbiting the world with many fighter pods swarming around it, along with about a dozen diamond-shaped vessels that dwarf the Hornet. Plutarchus. Looks almost like our Pluto from my home system. This should be interesting. They pass 2 more worlds that are like Neptune and Uranus, 2 gas giants in the solar system. Except for this world, Uranus is not tilted on its side, but then they encounter a Saturn-sized world with no rings, but the same color as Uranus, tilted on its equator. Each world orbited by hundreds of moons, some of which have atmospheres, thick in a few cases, but habitable. My homeworld is one of the moons of Jupiter. I see your. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. I haven't given that one an idea. We call it Zebash. Zebatage leader beams as they pass Beta above Beta Geisel-sized gas giant with the same colors as Jupiter, but with four supersized storms in the atmosphere. Except it has a Saturn-like ring system encircling the planet from pole to pole. But the moons orbit the planets along the equatorial plane. They now pass through an extensive asteroid belt to a defensive platform on one of the planetoids surrounded by scores of fighter pods. Excuse me. Field is even denser than that found in the solar system, and even the biggest planetoids in the solar system are bigger here too. They will pass Mars soon. The sabotage leader beams. I assume he means Mars. Rena says, I think he is a planet, a desert-type planet, just like Mars in the solar system. It is inhabited, as are the other inner planets and some moons. I thought I fixed everything, but I'm seeing things I got to fix. Let's go. Okay. An hour later, the Hornet and the other Alliance ships pass around the moon to see Earth. Stephen asked, confused. Atlanticus atmospheres, but it's not as Earth, sir. It's 20% bigger in diameter than your Earth, sir. Stephen recognizes the continents from his departed homeworld, Earth. The only difference is that the cold coastlines are more jagged and the oceans are a deeper blue. Is the atmosphere safer for us to land on the surface and walk about without the need for EVA suits, Eve? The atmosphere is breathable for all on our ships, sir. Excellent. Begin landing procedures as soon as we're cleared. Yes, sir. She's in contact with a harbor master down on a planet that reminds Stephen so much of his homeworld Earth. Now it's just a memory and the same 4 million survivors that we off the planet when the Empire destroyed it. Oh, come on, what are you doing? I hate. Sorry. Destroyed or one were in the refugee fleet that escaped in the hours before its destruction. Fond memories of the last treasures, monuments, and families lost by the destruction. Only some 550,000 survivors were able to escape destruction onto ships bound for Alpha Centauri and Centauri Prime, the new home world for humanity. But then they also found another duplicate Earth that had been ruled by the Roman and Inca empires. See books 2 and 3. Which is even now being explored by scientists and fortune hunters. But the New Earth government has begun formulating plans to relocate to this new Earth. But it's about 75 light years from Centauri Prime. The Hornet enlisted its fleet of warships land outside Norfolk spaceport in the province of Nordericus. The admiral is greeted by a group of 8-foot-tall humanoid beings that look as human as he does. That's the new race I created. Just much taller and muscular. Some of whom wear samurai-style sword hilts on their sides and wear old Japanese-style shogun warrior body armor. Steven steps forward ahead of his own entourage to greet the apparent leader, whose one hand is outstretched while the other is resting on the pommel of his sword hilt. Welcome to Norfolk, Admiral Spears, the apparent leader says as both men reach out to grasp each other's forearms in greeting. My leader has alerted us to your arrival. Impressive vessel, sir. I understand you carrying a array of weapon systems on board. Correct, and thank you, sir. And Grand Samurai Master Gray Von Tay of the Samurai Order. Impressive world and city you have here, Master. Stephen says, nodding as he watches air vehicles slip by overhead in the clear blue sky, and sees many vessels ply through the waters of the port out to sea. And he sees the rest of his fleet landing in available berths too. This system reminds me of my former home system, the Sol system, just supersized. We have studied your galaxy. I'm gonna change that to spiral. Oh, come on. Sorry. For many Galenium centuries, atmospheres. How do you people know? We have devices that allow us to view inside the spiral you come from. Try, says, says nodding. These devices orbit outside the edge of our system, have been there for many galeniums. Many galenium. We're almost done. 3 more pages after the one I 4 more pages after the one I'm on now. All right. Interesting, Julia whispers. Stephen leads his group of staff officers and samurai warriors and follows the samurai master through the city. That reminds Stephen of ancient Rome with a few Egyptian pyramids among the cityscape. As they approach a massive pyramid-shaped structure that even dwarfs the Great Pyramid of Giza before its destruction. He can see glass panels in the sides of the structure and can make out balconies leading to the pyramid's peak, along with what appears to be a landing platform built into the pyramid's interior. And you see a multi-story entrance at the base of the structure. It's the Samurai Order Temple, my friends. I'm sorry, I gotta get something to drink. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a little break. I should have gotten a drink before I started, but it's late starting. Sorry about that, my friends. I get thirsty. I should have got a drink before I start reading. But that's all right. I'm back. Okay. The Samurai Order Temple, my friends. They are suddenly lifted off their feet as they rise into the clear blue sky from many levels and stop and float onto a large glass floor balcony that overlooks the vast ocean beyond. and set foot softly on the glass floor. Try leads him into wood and stone, into the wood and stone office that reminds Stephen of an office back on Earth before her destruction. Okay. The man sits behind a massive wooden desk. On one corner sits a strange-looking device that looks to be there, but is not. Stephen finds the chairs in front of the desk are not exactly made for his 6-foot frame, more like for a man 8 foot tall. But it's still comfortable. He helps Julia sit down before he sits down and sits next to her. Before he, her, didn't change that. I can go back and edit. I'll do that later. Thank you. Stephen sits next to her and takes her hand in his. May we begin? What kind of force are we facing, Master? I like the way you think. I like the way your way of thinking, Admiral Spears. The Triku are a very elusive race. They let their allies or subjects do the fighting. Only coming out of hiding when they have to face anyone from the Samurai Order. Do you know what the Triku look like? Allow me. Trey touches says as he touches the control on his device sitting in one corner of his desk. As everyone leans forward, a near life-size image of a creature looks similar to Emperor Stilvanov appears next to the desk and holds a sword similar to a samurai sword, just a blade of solid. Even has the same facial features as Stilvanov, the Y-shaped mouth, antenna on their foreheads, and the small pointed ears. Told you it'd be an interesting. He would bring back an old friend of theirs. I did say friend, but you'll find out later something more sinister. But I won't tell you that till later. Stilvanov. We have encountered this race in our galaxy. Well, one. Who is this Stilvanov? He was the Emperor of the Galactic Empire till recently. He had a bad case of Decapitus Hedus. He was decapitated by my beloved wife here. He was a dark ninja and killed 17 billion beings before his timely death. We think with your help we can break through their defenses in their home system and take on their fleet one-on-one. We are nearly defeated, but our forces are not strong enough to break through their home system defenses. So you wish for us to help? Right. Correct, Admiral Spears. He has a full cooperation of my fleet master. Stephen says, rising to his feet now after jumping down out of his seat. All but for a small flotilla I left behind to protect the eye, as you call it. So we have a way home. I have family back in our galaxy, Master. And as do many of my officers and crew, a way home that will take centuries, even at the best speed possible with my fleet. If we lose the eye. completely understandable atmospheres. My friends call me Stephen, since we seem to be allies now. Well, few friends I have. I allow to call me Grevon. The Semi Master says, smiling too. How many warriors do you have? 400 is finest in the galaxy. My wife, our mother, and the tall, hairy, gentle man seated next to Julia among them. Why so few? You must have many, many more. Once upon a time, there were thousands spread across our galaxy. But the Emperor killed many off some 20 odd years ago in a purge he took power as Emperor and killed our father, and then the then Chancellor of a freely elected government. Sorry. Most of the warriors left today went into hiding on worlds loyal to the old Galactic Free States, as they called it. But as the rebellion against the Empire rose into a powerful force with the rise of the new samurai order, led by my wife and me, they started coming out of hiding in droves, and we took on the Emperor and killed him to end the rebellion. I could not bring all of them, as we are still facing rogue factions of the former Empire. I understand. Our mother was one of those dark ninjas who did as the Emperor bade. But my brother and husband and I, helped mother change back into the warrior you see right now, Julia says, holding Irina's hand now, smiling. My loyalty is to the new samurai order and to restore peace to our galaxy and to help your order bring peace once more to your galaxy too, Princess Irina says. I hope that is enough to take on the Dark Warriors, Try says, nodding once more. Von Try. I changed that, but I thought I fixed it. We took on dark ninjas and their Imperial troopers with little trouble, Master. I do hope we have enough strength and power to take on your warriors, sir. We shall start this final battle in 3 arenas, as you would understand, 3 rises of our sun. Will your fleet be ready by then? 3 days? I think we can be ready, Rena. As long as nobody takes shore leave, we will be ready in that time, Stephen. Thank you, Rena. So your orders are to keep the fleet on alert until the attack begins. Understood? All right. Affirmative, Admiral. Hannah says. And shall we get this show on the road, Master Chai? I gotta change that. I fixed it, I thought. Okay. Show on the road? It means shall we start preparation for this operation? Sir. I'm gonna change one little thing. Where am I? I'm not ending. Okay. I understand. Stephen, check. I changed the Von Try, but I guess I didn't fix it all. I'll fix it. Okay. Walk through this dojo to meet with some samurai, spelled SA space apostrophe MULAI. Warriors who are training in the same arts as he. A samurai train. I'm trying to fix that. Stephen sees a few thousand in this temple compared to several hundred old timers, Julia and himself. But even with that, Stephen is confident with his fleet's help they can end this war soon and end the deaths of countless beings, count galaxy-wide, and the destruction of countless worlds. But he can see some statues of familiar faces that he'd seen back on Bateau, while with maps of solar systems galaxy-wide that look somewhat familiar. We are surprised how familiar this system looks to our home system, the Sol system. Your system is familiar with our home system. Sorry, your system is so familiar with our home system, Admiral Spears. You have 10 worlds in this system to our own 8. Is it true that you have a world that orbits in the same orbit as Irenicus? Correct. Greenval. Oh, sorry.